As you know that today or these days are related to the Baisat of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. And then this is where I would like to relate my topic to the objectives of prophetic mission or prophethood, and why Anbiya and prophets, they were sent to this world, and what is the responsibility of prophets and what are the responsibilities of them. So we are going to discuss this issue. First of all, I would like to say that when you want to talk about anything which is related to theological and related to your aqaid, then we need to learn the logical sequence. So logical sequence is always very important because we have to go step by step. What is the meaning of logical sequence? The meaning is that you cannot skip any step. So every step should be in its own place. So the first thing which comes to our mind, that what is the philosophy and what is the objective of this creation, this world or this universe. So first question is related to the universe. So we don't want to go in detail basically because this is not directly our topic, but our topic is that whether this universe is created, there is any purpose behind this or not. There is any hadaf or objective behind the universe or not. And we want to see basically what Quran says, because Quranic verses are very important here. So the first Quranic verse, we know the Quran says, did you suppose that we created you aimlessly and that you will not be brought back to us? أَفَحَسِبْتُمْ أَنَّمَا خَلَقَكُمْ عَبَثًا, that do you think that we did not have or we don't have any purpose behind this? No, but we have purpose, and this is not just null and void. So this is purposeful, and we have aimed to create everything in the world. And then it is He who created for you all that is in the earth. In second step, okay, the question is that why this universe is created. First of all, Quran is saying that there is a purpose behind this. Now, what is the purpose and why this universe is created? In next step, Quran says this universe is created for men. This universe is created for human being. It means that the central and the focal point of this universe is human. So this is the second step. So Quran is here mentioning that this universe is, if man was not there, human being was not there, then there was no need for this universe. So this universe is created for human being, and human being is basically the central point. Even last time you remember that we talked about the one verse of Bible. So what Bible says that خَلَقَ اللَّهُ الْإِنسَانَ عَلَى سُورَتِهِ, that God created human or man on his image. So this is the same issue that the men but God did not say this to any other created being. For example, for angels, this is not said to angels, about animals. This is only said, as we say that وَالتِّينِ وَالزَّيْتُونِ وَطُورِ سِينِينَ هَذَا لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي أَحْسَنِ تَقْوِيمٍ. So again, when Quran is saying that أَحْسَنَ تَقْوِيمٍ, so it is not said to anything else. So not for angels, not for animals, not for only and only human being, it is said that أَحْسَنَ تَقْوِيمٍ. And then in next step, God created man in His own image. This is related to Bible, the first chapter of Bible. And God spirited into him of His soul. نَفَخْتُ فِيهِ مِنْ رُوحِي. So this is also indicating that the creation of man is also, one part is related to the soul of God, the spirit of God, and one part is related to our materialistic aspect. So let's see, and then objectives of creation. I did not create the jinns and the human beings except for the purpose of that they should worship me, except So this is the next question is, when we say that universe is created for men, and then why this man is created? This is the next logical question and the next step. So we say it here that according to Quran, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. Now the main issue is related to إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. This is related to our ibadah, and this is in general, and let's see what Bible says. And this is also very interesting, that in general Bible teaches that God created the world and all that is in it for His own glory, and because He desired to share His life with others. The creation of these things demonstrates His glory, His love, mercy, grace, power, goodness, forgiveness, etc. So according to Bible, even according to Quran and according to our hadith, there is one very important hadith. Our Urafa, normally they are quoting this hadith. Which one is? This hadith is Kunto Kanzan Makhfiya, and then I was a hidden treasure. I wanted to be recognized, then I created everything. So this is also related to this Bible verse that we already have in front of us. According to Bible, the manifestation of attributes of God is very important issue. That as a man or human being, so there are some attributes we see and recognize in God, and the same attributes we must be able to manifest these or demonstrate these attributes. This is the basic purpose. For example, if God is alim or He is knowing, then we are also alim. If He is forgiver, He is forgiving everyone, then this should come to our life. We should implement this attribute. So for example, if He is Ghafurur Rahim, then we must be Ghafurur Rahim. So if He is Raziq, then we must be Raziq. So all these attributes, if you just pay attention, you will see that the human being also has these all attributes, but the levels are different. So when we say that God is alim, then His ilm is basically absolute or mutlaq, but our ilm is not absolute. So there is a big difference, and there are different stages. But again, the knowledge is knowledge and forgiveness is forgiveness. So God is basically saying, if you expect me to help you, then first of all, you have to help me. In tansurullah yansurukum. That if you help God, God will help you. So if you are going to help God, what does it mean? It means that we are able to help, or we are helping other human beings. So if we are not helping other people, then God says, don't expect from me that I will help you. If you are not ready to forgive anyone in your life, and you are very strict, if something happened between you and your friend, and you are not ready to forgive him, then God says, why you are asking forgiveness from me? Don't try to ask anything. So you have to implement and you have to manifest my attributes in your life, and then you can expect. And this is the basic difference between prophets and ordinary people, is only the manifestation of attributes of God's are they have manifested God's attribution, and we were not able to. This is the difference between prophets and ordinary people. And then now ibadah and purpose of creation. Ibadah relates with intellect, human nature, and perfection. This is very important aspect. Now the question is that, what is the meaning of worship? What is the meaning of ibadah? So when we talk about ibadah, and Quran says that this is our purpose, this is our objective, we are created to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this worship is not just we are praying and then we are fasting and we are performing Hajj and we are just paying zakat and everything. But ibadat is, there is a broad sense here. And then we have to see that ibadat is, there are different aspects. One is related to your intellectual aspect. Second is related to your nature, your fitrat, and third is related to your perfection, and the fourth is related to your awareness. So these four bases of ibadah are very important. So if we are not considering these four bases, then this ibadat will be just adat or habit. This will not be ibadat. So why we say that intellect is important for us? So before worshipping someone, it is necessary to know to whom we must do worship. We have to recognize God's existence and His attributes. So we need to use our intellect and wisdom. So now we come to know here that how we can relate ibadat with aql, with intellect and wisdom, that if we don't have wisdom, so we will not be able to recognize God, and we don't know about the existence of God, that whether God is existing or not, and about the oneness of God. So before doing worship, before worshipping, it is important for us to know to whom we are worshipping. So for this purpose, we need to use our aql. And then before worshipping someone, it is again necessary to know that worshipping is a part of human nature. So for example, this ibadat is basically, this is our submissiveness. This is our humbleness. When we are praying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so you know that normally we are habitual of just praying, but we don't consider it or relate it to our nature, to our fitra. It is very important aspect. First of all, we have to see in our daily life. So if we see someone who has a great knowledge, who is a great personality, so naturally you are humble to that person, and you are showing your submissiveness and paying the respect to this person. So why you are paying the respect? Because it is the part of your nature. Whenever you see something which is very beautiful, something which is very great, then you are always paying respect to greatness, always paying to respect the beauty, paying the respect of the, and which is gracious and everything. So here, for example, when we are praying to God, then we have to relate it with nature. That, what does it mean? That this ibadah or whatever, namaz or prayer or fasting, this is not imposed on us. If it is imposed on us, then we will not relate it with nature. So we have to pray by nature. I mean that this submissiveness, the humbleness should come from our heart. And when we are praying, so this is what they expect from us. Quran and Sunnah expect from us. I am not saying that we are exactly now we can do this or not, but we need to do. We need to attain these levels. Most of the Muslims we have not attained this kind of level, but our prophets and the Seerah and Quran and Hadith, so they are always emphasizing us that we have to consider these aspects. And again, why we are required to attain the higher levels of perfection and purification. And another question is that, now okay, we understood this, that we must purify ourselves, we must develop ourselves, we must refine ourselves, and then we have to consider these moral aspect, the aspect of nature. So perfection, basically the last time we had also this question, so what is the meaning of purification and what is the meaning of perfection? So again you see that this is just what we see in our life. If something is polluted, something is, for example, there is a dust on it, so you want to clean it. So similarly, there are so many spiritual like this dust, and we have to clean. If we talk about the sin, if we talk about the deficiencies, if we talk about the defects, and if we talk about evils, if we talk about indecency, all these things are being considered pollution. So our heart is also sometimes polluted, and we need to clean our heart and soul. So whenever you can imagine yourself. So when, for example, if you compare yourself, that before getting the knowledge, if you get the knowledge, and before this, you feel that you have gained something, you have attained something, you feel change in your soul. And when you are a good person, and if you are doing for the humanity, and you're showing your moral aspect or morality, again you will see that, for example, you are a very truthful person. Again you will see that as compared to the person who is just lying. So you will see that you have basically attained the higher level of perfection and purification. So otherwise, for example, if there are mischievous attitude, so this is related to your polluted aspect, and we need to remove this, and we need to clean this. So this is what we want to talk. One dimension of ibadah is related to its moral aspect, which is dynamic aspect, because it fulfills the purpose of ibadah. So now the issue is that there are two aspects of our ibadat. One aspect is related to, you can say, that jurisprudential aspect or aspect of fiqh. If you go and see the Tawziyul Masail, so you will see that how to pray, and what are the, for example, wajibat, and what are the mustahabbat. So accordingly, so we are normally praying. But this is a static aspect. This is not dynamic aspect. So what we say in Persian, puya, that we need a dynamic aspect. So when you consider the moral aspect of ibadah, then this will be dynamic. It means that there is a difference between two aspects. For example, if we are worshipping Allah and we are just considering the jurisprudential aspect, it means that in our whole life we are, for example, praying, but there is no change in it. And in the same way, we are just praying every day, and in 70 years, 80 years, after 80 years, we see that there is no change at all in our life, in our soul, in our perfection, and we could not change ourselves. But the moral aspect, why it is being said that you have to focus on moral aspect? Because it is dynamic aspect. If you see in Quran, for example, when Quran say, Inna salata tanha anil fahsha wal munkar. So what does it mean? It means the moral aspect and spiritual aspect and the hikmat and wisdom behind, and the philosophy behind the ibadat is, for example, tanha anil fahsha wal munkar. For example, to get rid of this indecency and evil deeds. So how we can do this? When we consider the moral aspect of ibadah. So normally if we are praying, and this praying is not affecting our life, so we are not going to keep ourselves away from any bad things and fuhsha wal munkar. So the basic purpose was tanha anil fuhsha wal munkar, but practically we see that we are praying, but this tanha anil fuhsha wal munkar, this is not happening in our life. So this is why, for example, about the fasting of month of Ramadan. So we are also coming close to month of Ramadan. So you see that Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu kutiba alaykumus siyam kama kutiba alal ladina min qablikum la'allakum tattaqun. Okay, you may become a righteous person. So now millions of Muslims, they are fasting, but they are far from righteousness. Why it is so? Because of this moral aspect, this spiritual aspect, because we don't consider this. So for example, we are always fasting, but we see that after month of Ramadan and the first day of the month of Ramadan, there is no difference between these 30 days. So it means that we are not fulfilling the basic criteria or the philosophy and purpose behind the ibadah. This is what is important. And only moral aspect and awareness can play a major role in our development. Development can be qualitative or quantitative. Sometimes you know that we know that in this world there is an advancement, there is a now the advancement of technology and everything. But every development and every advancement is not necessarily good. You cannot say that it is in the benefit of human being. For example, the one misunderstanding of our youth is that whatever happening in modern world is right also, is good and in our benefit also. Even if they are saying that now there are some human rights, we have to obey these human rights. This is okay, but we have to think about this. We have to work on these human rights. This is not necessary that if it is announced that this is the Charter of Human Rights, then it is the final verdict. You can change it, you can work on it, it can be good, it can be bad. So this is the intellectual development of human society. So here also we would like to say that sometimes we say it quantitatively. For example, in the past we did not have these cars, we did not have aeroplane, we had, for example, animals and horses, so we used to travel on this. But now we don't need. So this is advancement. But can you say that this advancement is very useful for our spiritual life? So I think that it is very difficult to say that now you have aeroplane, now you have horses, and you have cars, you have train, so you have latest technology. So can you say that now you have spiritually also developed yourself? So this is why, or it is necessarily, it is in the benefit of human being. So qualitative development and quantitative development is different. Quantitative development means that something you were missing before this and now you are having this. You did not have something, now you have this. So only you are having something new is development, but this is not qualitative, this is quantitative. This is related to kamiyya, not kafiyya. So again, purpose of prophetic mission. Now say that now we will discuss about the main issue of prophetic mission or objectives of prophets of God. So I have just because some issues we have already covered before. So just see this Quranic verse from Surah Jum'ah. وَالَّذِي بَعَثَ فِي الْأُمِّيِّينَ هُوَ الَّذِي بَعَثَ فِي الْأُمِّيِّينَ يَتْلُو عَلَيْهِمْ آيَاتِهِ وَيُزَكِّيهِمْ وَيُعَلِّمُهُمُ الْكِتَابَ وَالْحِكْمَةَ وَإِنْ كَانُوا مِنْ قَبْلُ لَفِي ضَلَالٍ مُبِينٍ. So I'm not forgetting this because I have to lead Jummah prayer always. So anyway, so you just see this is a very beautiful Quranic, very beautiful. Now all the objectives you can see in this Quranic. What is the first? Recitation of the book. This is the first objective. And then second, teaching the book. يُعَلِّمُهُمُ الْكِتَابَ. So what does it mean? It means that recitation is different from teaching. At the same time, Quran is giving this message to us that recitation is a lower level, but the teaching of the book is the higher level, next level. And the third is teaching the wisdom, and this is related to your hikmat and your. It means Quran is saying that teaching is different from your wisdom. You may be knowledgeable person, you may be well aware of Quranic verses, but you may not have this wisdom. What is the meaning of wisdom? Wisdom is related to your insightfulness, your basira. If you read and recite Quran, you will understand that Quran is focusing on knowledge and basira. These are two different things. Knowledge, you may be very knowledgeable person, but you may not be able to distinguish right from wrong, haq from batil. So this is another insightfulness. Quran is focusing on it. Sometimes you have a knowledge. So Anbiya came, Prophet Muhammad came. Why? The objective of him was recitation of Quran, teaching of Quran, and wisdom. And the last one is yuzakkihim, purification. So last thing is, the main thing is purification. So main objective of recitation, the main objective of teaching or fahmul Quran, and main objective of wisdom is your purification. Because if these three things are not affecting us, not changing us, for example, this hikmah and this knowledge and this book and recitation is not affecting our life, then there is no influence. Then it means the main objective is purification. So we have to relate it. This is important. Sometimes we think that, oh, if the first three stages, if we have attained these stages, then automatically we will be able to purify ourselves. This is not necessary. You may be well aware of tafsir al-Quran, you may be very good in recitation, you have good tajweed, good tilawat and everything, but it doesn't mean that you are a moral person also. It doesn't mean that you are a good human being also. If we want to become a good human being, if we really want to change ourselves, then when we are doing all these things, when we are studying Quran, when we are reciting Quran, when we are talking about wisdom, at the same time, this Quranic verse is also supporting this verse of Surah Jummah. That Surah Jummah is saying that recitation and teaching of book and wisdom, all three stages they must serve the ultimate objective, which is the purification of heart or morality or ethics. And purpose, and then we have now, let's see the first sermon of Nahjul Balagha. What Imam Ali says, again Imam Ali is mentioning 4 very beautiful objectives of prophets. Now Imam Ali says in the first sermon of Nahjul Balagha, then Allah sent His messenger and series of His prophets towards them to get them to fulfill the following objectives. What are these objectives? Now you see the pledges of His creation. Le yasta'azu misaqa fitratihi. Yani we have an agreement by nature. So they are here for us to remind us, to tell us that you had this fitrat which was divine nature. Now you have, for example, changed your nature. So why prophets are here? So you know that why it is important today's subject. Because when we are reading and studying and the teachings of prophets, then if we don't know why they came here, what they want to do with us, then how we can get benefit from their teaching. So this is why these issues, for example, if we don't know that prophets came here to remind us that we had a nature, so fitra, so then it means that we are aware of this aspect and this dimension. If we are aware of this dimension, then we will be taken care of. That yes, of course, now we have to see what Anbiya are saying. But if, for example, before reading and studying this first sermon of Amir al-Mu'mineen, for example, if we did not know about the misaq of fitrat, then it was not affecting for us. We were not able to take benefit from the teaching of prophets. So this is why we say that in Quran and in Hadith and in Nahjul Balagha, we should go through all these objectives. So we have to see that. And this is the first. And the second is to recall to them His bounties. So what is this? That God is saying that there are lot of blessings for you. You have a ni'mat. So Anbiya just came here to remind us that you should know that what is given to you, you are getting benefit, and this is very, you are becoming happy also, and you are taking benefit, developing yourself. These are the bounties of Allah. This is a blessing of Allah. This is from God. This is from God. This is not what you attain yourself. You don't think that you don't want to become proud of yourself. That no, this is because of our potential. This is because of our ability and capacity. No, but Anbiya came here to remind us, because we are continuously forgetting this aspect, that all of these ni'mat is from Allah. And then Quran also says, everything which is coming from God, this is ni'mat from Allah. And the very beautiful aspect is that But it is not necessary that if one thing is ne'mat from God, this we are also considering this ne'mat. Because sometimes we don't consider it, this is ne'mat, but Allah says this is my ne'mat. So there is a confliction. So we have to understand the main objective of prophets, one of the main objectives of prophet is to remind us that you should also consider this, that this is coming from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What is the third thing? To unveil before them the hidden virtues of wisdom. So again, the word used like yathiru dafa'inal uqul. So what is dafa'inal uqul? This is just like dafina, or in Persian we say ganj. So when you talk about the ganj or treasure, so this treasure is always inside the earth. It is always hidden. So why Anbiya came? Because our akal is hidden inside the earth. This is just like treasure. You have to dig out. You have to bring it out from the earth. So Anbiya are here, that we are given this wisdom, we are given this intellect, we are given this rational and reasoning power, but Quran says we don't use this. And you can see in the society that how much we are doing logical mistakes in our life. Why we are doing logical mistakes? Because Quran is not saying that you don't have akal. Quran says you have akal, but you don't use your intellect. You don't use your wisdom. So why Anbiya came here? Because we are lacking in this aspect. And now, according to them, they will let us know that how to use your intellect and akal. And show them the signs of His omnipotence, His power, His domination, that everything is the sign of God, ayat-e-ilahi. Sometimes the Quran says, why we don't take lesson from ayat of God, from signs of God. Everything is sign of God whenever we see. But it is up to us how we are taking benefit or taking lesson from this. If we are not taking ibra, then it is not sign for us. At that time when prophets came, so for every prophet this happened. They said, oh, you are just like us, you are eating and drinking like us, so we cannot accept you. Angels must come here. Then you should show your miracles, so we could believe and faith on you. So the answer of Quran, if you see Surah Yusuf and Surah Kaf and other surah, then you will see the answer of Quran is that don't ask for miracles. Don't ask that angels should come. Everything is miracle in this world. Everything is mu'jiza and ayat of God. You have to open your eyes to see the things. So this is another aspect. And another thing in Surah Al-Hadid, we have indeed sent our messengers with clear proofs, Brahim, and the balance and mizan, and so that people may uphold the equity. This is very beautiful ayah. Now this is another objective. So we have already gone through these objectives, but another objective is related to لِيَقُومَ النَّاسِ بِالْقِسْطِ. The beautiful aspect of this Quranic verse is that that it is our duty to implement the justice. Prophet came here, their duty also, was their duty to implement the justice. Also, they are teaching us how to implement the justice. So what does it mean? Sometime in Muslim scholars, there is a discussion about the nature of Islamic government. So here, from this Quranic verse, we can understand that it is also our duty to collectively and socially, we should work hard to implement the justice in the society. You are not allowed to live only your individual life. So this individual life is not enough. You have to see collectively, you have to see how to, why we say Iyyaka na'budu wa Iyyaka nasta'in. This is very important. Why the plural, the word is plural there? Why it is not singular? The plural this is the basically we want to be related to the social aspect. So we should be in the society and we should move collectively and implement the justice in the society. This is our duty according to Quran. And now the morality and objectives of prophetic mission. All objectives of prophetic prophets should lead to the, I have already discussed this issue, purification of heart and soul, because everyone, now this is a reason, maybe you will ask, why we say that? Every objective should lead to our morality, to lead to our purification, I would say, and soul, because everyone will be judged in the day of judgment according to the quality of her heart and soul. Only and only the criteria in the day of judgment is our personality, our soul, not our thinking, not our any other thing, but only and only what we have, the strength of our soul, the power of our soul, the perfection of our soul. This is only and only miyar and the standard, the criteria in the day of judgment. And this is why Quran says, as the Quran says, except him who comes to Allah with a sound heart. Very beautiful Quranic verse. Illa man ata bil qalb salim, who comes to us with the healthy heart, with the soundness of heart. If your qalb is salim, that's very difficult to translate it in English. So qalb salim is the miyar, is the standard in the day of judgment. So it means that our knowledge, our ilm, our activities, our amal is nothing but if these things are changing ourselves, reforming us, refining us. Because in the day of judgment, only and only standard is qalb salim, and then innama yataqabbalullah muttaqeen. Allah accepts only from the righteous people. That your amal will be accepted only when you are good purpose. If you are, even if you are doing good, but your heart is, your intention is, your niyat is not good, or you are not righteous from inside, then your amal will not be accepted. وَمَنْ يُعَظِّمْ شَعَائِرَ اللَّهِ فَهُوَ مِنْ تَقْوَى الْقُلُوبِ. If you respect the sha'ir Allah, what is sha'ir Allah? Anything or everything which lead us to the awareness of God and become close to God, then this Quranic verse says, this is part of your taqwa. If you had taqwa, then if you are respecting something, then it will be helpful for you and I will accept you. Otherwise, I will not accept you. Thank you very much.
اللهم صل وسلم على محمد وآل محمد.
Any question?
Yes.
Yeah.
So when we were talking
You can
about,
close this now. Yeah.
when we were talking about